Something happened today that absolutely obliterates a claim Trump has been making. And we've sort of already seen this. I've been ranting a lot lately on our members only bonus show about this. You can get access to that by clicking the join button below. It's a great time. It is. But Trump posted a little while ago now this: stock market's crashing. I told you so. Kamala doesn't have a clue. Biden's sound asleep. All caused by inept U.S. leadership. Then he also wrote, so that was August 4th. And on August 5th, he said, of course there's a massive market downturn. Kamala's even worse than Crooked Joe. Markets will never accept the radical left lunatic that destroyed San Francisco and California as a whole. A reminder that in a recent speech, he said that 15 years ago, San Francisco was one of the best cities. Not realizing that 15 years ago, Gavin Newsom was the governor of California. Or no. Sorry, not governor. Was the mayor of San Francisco. And Kamala Harris was the DA of San Francisco when the city was the best it's ever been, according to Trump. So a little mix up there. But as a whole, next move, the Great Depression of 2024. You can't play games with markets. Kamala crash. Okay, so wishing into existence, as he commonly does, some sort of economic downturn. Because of some admittedly bad days, stock market-wise. But as I told you then, and as I've been telling you since, it's going to recover, and we'll be back to record-breaking highs pretty soon. And we're back, but just stick with me, because it's not over there, right? It gets even worse. And my call to MAGA is, why do you accept this? Trump's going, I think you're dumb. Not me. Trump's saying that to you in his actions. So we'll review that more. But here was this being reported on Fox Business.
I should tell you that the Dow hit an all-time intraday high today. At the moment, you're standing at 41,339. It's up 164 points.
Yeah, and then it turned out to close also at a record high today. And we showed this on the bonus show, Noah Smith saying, just in case anyone forgot, and this image was going around. This is the S&P 500. This is where, so it says, here's where the Trump people started screaming that the economy was crashing and it was all Kamala's fault. And that's the downturn. Then you're here. And then it's recovered very nicely and very quickly. So before playing some clips of Trump on the stock market that make it even more absurd, his argument is just eviscerated by the data or the facts of what the stock market's doing. But remember, it gets crazier because he's saying that when the stock market goes down, it's the Kamala crash. When it's record-breaking, at least Dow Jones today, that's because people think he's going to become president. And so they, it's so annoying to even say. So because of that, the expectation is juicing up the numbers. But see, the way he would make that argument is if you saw a super big spike in Trump's poll numbers and the stock market went up. Still, this would be a dumb argument, but then you would have some visual to point to, right? Something real to point to, and it would still be like, but it would make slightly more sense. But he just keeps getting bad news for his campaign. So presumably that would mean if his theory were correct, we would be suffering in the market. But the opposite is happening. The big news was RFK Jr. is going to help his campaign, and the first data we get is that actually it's not. And it's changing nothing. We'll be right back to the video. All I got to say is just subscribe if you're not already by clicking that subscribe button. Easy, free, but it makes all the difference. The majority of people who watch this show aren't subscribed. So if you want to make yourself no longer one of those people, do it. Thank you so much. Back to the video. So my question is, MAGA. In 2020, when you heard Trump say this,
President, I have to move on to the next question.
They said
or
the
else
stock
we're not
market
going to
will
have time
boom
to talk about it.
if I'm elected. If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay, President.
it will crash. He said we're going to have a Great Depression. He's saying it again in this campaign about Harris.
If Harris wins this election, the result will be a Kamala economic crash, a 1929 style depression. 1929. When I win the election, we will immediately begin a...
Does that not bother you at all, MAGA? I'm serious. Because there are things sometimes politicians I support say, and I think, don't insult my intelligence like that. I've never seen something as insulting as this to a group of supporters, which is why I don't support him. But does this not irk you at all? Him thinking you can't critically think your way into understanding why this is nonsense? Him thinking this sort of talking point works for you? Doesn't bother you at all, huh? And then, it was so enraging because I knew this was going to happen too. And so I was going on social media on the day where we had that dip. And it was one MAGA influencer after another, just popping the champagne, loving the idea that we would fall into some recession because they care more about politics than people. And Don Jr. posting hashtag Kamala crash and linking a video of Kamala Harris saying Bidenomics is working. It's just, you don't have to. You don't have to become of my exact politics. You don't. But at least have some basic foundational honesty in this conversation. If you still want to be a little to the right, all right. Far right, I don't know how you would get there, but you want to be a little conservative, just stop with the brain bending, brain in a pretzel sort of illogical nonsense, the dishonesty. You have to just acknowledge the stats as they are, which are Biden, Harris, enter office. Things were sort of rough then. We had juiced up the economy already a little because of COVID relief, but still a gazillion crises to be addressed. Thousands of people dying per day. Economic hardship. Crime, both through the roof at the end of Trump's term. And then all of those big key metrics are just in a pretty solid spot now, just a few years later. And when you compare the way that we handled that recovery to our counterpart nations, we did it better under Biden Harris. So then you can look at the record-breaking stock market figures we've seen. You can look at the shocking jobs numbers, even with the adjustment. The drop in unemployment. The wages outpacing inflation. You can grab all these facts and then still figure out whatever the point is you want to make. It wasn't good enough. They made this mistake, that mistake, even though Trump dumped more into the economy at the end that would have a little bit down the road spiked inflation like we saw globally than Biden did. But even with that, Biden should have not done what he did. But just engage with the actual facts, please. Instead of going, la 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 la. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Am I covering my eyes or my ears when I do that? I don't know. Whatever it is, la la la, I'm not listening. Whenever things are going in ways that contradict your narrative. And then pay attention for one day when we have a bad stock market day. Kamala crash, woo-wee, she celebrate. It's so bothersome. It makes me so mad at you, okay? I don't want to be mad at you. But you're making me do it. Look what you made me do. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. If you want to support this show, you can do it by clicking the join button below.